Hello, and welcome to my channel, Feral Reviews. Let me just change into something a little more comfortable and we'll get down to it. I'll be your host, Feral, and as the title suggests, this is my introduction video, so I wanted to take a moment and introduce myself to YouTube. I want to talk a little bit about how and why this channel came about, things you can expect from it, and so on. It actually all started a few years ago when I discovered content creators on YouTube, mostly movie critics, but also some social commentators. And these are people that, even though I don't always agree with, I respect their opinions. I enjoy their content. I find their information very valuable for deciding what I choose to watch. And I've been a member of several fan groups, and I do a lot of writing. And some friends finally convinced me that it might be a good idea to try my own hand. So, but I'll dive deeper into that in a little bit when we get to the expectations of the channel. But I have this great support system for this channel, and of course, I cannot talk about my support system without mentioning the Collective of Content Creators and Podcasters, also known as the CCCP. This is a great group of guys, all very supportive. Everyone's doing the best they can to create good content for everybody and work together to hone their skills and promote and share. And I also get support from family as well. My nephew Cody made my music for me. I think he did an awesome job. And my daughter Kate is also teaching me different tricks of how to edit and use certain animations. So in the future, you can definitely see some improved quality in the videos. Right now, it's still a learning curve. I actually just taught myself how to edit in the last 2 weeks or so, and I've been doing a lot of research on how I would like these videos to go. But that's how I got started. Now let's talk about the why, and we can't really get deep into that until I explain to you my feelings on modern entertainment. It's really no secret that I have little respect for modern entertainment. Whenever I hear of a new project getting ready to be released, I get about as excited as I do for my quarterly flea dips. There's just so much wrong with so much of modern entertainment. I often make comments like, I really wish the writers would come off a strike or just not hire the ADHD kids that were huff and glue up until 8th grade like myself. One of the big arguments I see with a lot of the YouTube critics is the difference between subjective and objective. But let me tell you, from what I recall back in high school English, I learned that if you contradict your own story while it's in progress, that is objectively bad writing. There is little to no creativity or originality. It's just slew after slew of reboots and sequels. Nobody's really doing much original work these days. Most of the modern projects are mired with false virtue signaling, and I call it false because they'll advertise it all kinds of ways in the US, but when they get ready to ship it overseas, they sure change or even delete quite a few things. And then they'll use diversity and inclusion as a shield. If you dare to criticize what they're doing, it's because you're every kind of istinophobe they can think of, and not actually because, they just have no skill at writing. Entertainment is supposed to be a form of escapism, so entertainment is supposed to give us an opportunity to step outside of the things that are troubling us and transport us somewhere else and put us in a different frame of mind. But these days, that seems to be sorely lacking. I get a lot of funny looks when I compare modern entertainment to organized religion because, let's face it, that's why a lot of people turned away from it these days, because back in the day, you had a bunch of hypocrites telling you how to live when it was rules for thee and not for me, and then they would shove it in your face every chance they got. Any of that sound familiar to what we're putting up with these days? And while we're at it, I want to point out how much the messages and lessons being taught in this entertainment has just depreciated over time. All the heroes nowadays are very similar to the villains of the old days, very narcissistic, shallow, self centered. Certainly not the kind of people that I would like to identify with. And then when you add to that the cost of entertainment these days, just to go into a theater is a small fortune, which I know a lot of us in this day and age don't even have anymore. All the streaming services are trying to be like the cable companies, inundated with commercials and advertisements, price going up and the quality going down. Then there's the whole recent Netflix debacle of not being able to share your password with your family or making it difficult for you to travel with your account. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of these companies dying off sooner rather than later. And that is why I like to focus on content creators here on YouTube, because it's everyday people having great ideas and sharing them with the world. It is far more entertaining, and I would much rather support that than all these big Hollywood scams they have going on. And speaking of which, let me tell you a little bit about what we can expect here on this channel. This channel is going to operate as strictly a hobby, just something that I do for fun. There is most likely going to be very sporadic content. Right now, I'm feeling a bit ambitious. I figure at launch I'll start with 5 or 6 videos, and after that, I might get one a week, or I may go a few months between videos. I do have a life that spending time with my family is a much bigger priority for me. Another thing about me is I tend to be long-winded usually. I will try to keep these short, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes if possible. Right now, I'm just getting started, so I'm experimenting with quite a few styles and ideas that I have. The series that I'm running right now is strictly on YouTube and content creators. It's going to be a mix of film and TV show critics, creators who do social commentary, people that make fan films and post them here, much of them much better than what's being given to us today. I also enjoy taking parts in live events such as film discussions. That I might not leave strictly to YouTube. I might discuss some mainstream media there. I haven't really decided yet. I'll leave most of that up to if I even accrue a fan base. Whatever you guys want to see or talk about, I'm game for it. There is one thing that I would like to make very clear right here and now. One thing I see with some of the other critics that I follow is they have a fan base that is full of just the bigots, the ists, and the phobes that they like to say everyone is. I'm not saying they don't exist because they certainly do, and I do not want those kind of people showing up in my comments because I don't have time for that either. I'm not here to trash so much what Hollywood is doing lately, so much as how they are doing it that I disagree with. They refuse to pass the torch from one generation to the next. It's more just stomp the old generation out completely. I try not to be a negative person, and you will hopefully see that in my future reviews. One rule I have is that I will not cover material that I am not familiar with. So if it's somebody you want to see that I haven't watched, then I need to take some time and explore their content. Though I already have several in mind, I'll be making videos for a while with the plans I have. But I was also taught that if you have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. So if there is a creator that I really don't care for, then I'm not going to waste my time or in some way try to hurt their reputation by saying a bunch of negative things. I'm actually here to help build and promote other content creators that are starting just like myself, or to honor the ones that are already established that I enjoy on a regular basis. The focus of this channel won't actually be myself, but on the people out there that are very creative and entertaining and deserve the credit. Speaking of which, when I do my reviews, I want it to be clear that I will strictly review the content, not the production. Not all of us can afford fancy lighting or microphones or these green screen backgrounds. Some of us just don't have that skill. I'll be focusing more on questions like, are they informative? Are they entertaining? Do they bring something unique to the table? I have a lot of friends in the CCCP that have specialties in the way that they do their reviews. I would like to help get them some attention for everything that they're doing. So that should give you all a basic idea of what's going on here on the channel. My comments are open for requests or suggestions of creators that you would like to see me talk about, or to have a civil discussion on any of the vids that I've already made. I just do ask that you keep it civil, otherwise I'll have to start removing things. But as always, I am open to constructive criticism. So with all that being said, I am looking forward to the future to see what I might be able to establish here or to help my friends out. I, of course, will try to change and evolve along with the landscape as we progress forward. I just hope to be able to provide good content and enjoy myself while doing it. So that should just about round up my introduction for the channel. Thank you so much for watching.